The first thing we found out is that the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers paid for these presentations, and yet nowhere in the presentation, in the PowerPoint, in the narration, is it ever stated that these presentations were underwritten by the Corps.
See that little seal on that car right there? You know what it says? It says Orleans Levee Board.
In the presentation, the narrator even goes so far as to elicit laughter from the audience at the sight of a levee board truck that's fallen into a crevasse from the flooding. The American Society of Civil Engineers is not supposed to take sides with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and against the people of New Orleans.
These levee boards are also responsible for 30% of the funding. They wanted to cut costs at each step of the way, and that pressure ended up compromising safety.
The New Orleans Hurricane Protection System is the responsibility of the U.S. Army Corps. The levee boards are only responsible to cut the grass and make sure that no one carves up portions of the levee that the designers need to make sure the levee stays safe. That's all.
Almost all the failures took place at an interface. It might have been an interface between material types, or between jurisdictions, between various levee boards, but almost every failure took place at an interface.
The narrator's presentation, nowhere does it really line up and state to the listener who's in charge and how all these projects came about.
The designers assumed that this water-filled gap would not occur, and the only hydrostatic loading would be on the concrete part of the wall. Well, in fact, what happened is that as the water came up, the wall tilted just a little bit, and it doesn't take very much.
No one tells the Corps of Engineers what to do. They are the ones who are the federal government. They are the ones that dictate what the levee boards build, what the levee boards may build, what the levee boards may put across a levee, in a levee, or under a levee. No one does anything regarding a levee or a flood wall or a floodgate without getting permission from the Corps of Engineers.
We feel that these educational seminars were an attempt by the American Society of Civil Engineers, who were paid by the Corps, to protect the Corps' reputation and to shift blame for the flooding onto the locals and to mislead the American public.